Beautiful bird. I am the sun. Golden sun. I am the wind. Carrying the beautiful earth in the sun. We are one in a wonderful world. Beautiful bird in the sun. We are one in a wonderful world. I am the sea, a tiny seed. I am the rain, gentle rain. I am the stream, carrying in a wonderful world. A tiny seed in the rain as we change in a wonderful world. I am a note, a beautiful note. I am a song, beautiful song. I am a child, great big smile. I am a note in a song, sing along in a wonderful world. Last year during our gratitude service. I'm alive right here, breathing out. My mind is clear, breathing in. My body is at ease, breathing out. I am at peace. There are so many reasons to be happy. There are so many reasons to give thanks. There are so many reasons to be happy. Give praise. Give praise. There are so many reasons to be happy. There are so many reasons to give thanks. There are so many reasons to be happy. Give praise. Give Oh, that's this for our This is marvelous. All right. I thank the earth for being my body. I thank the sun for warming my bones. Get out the door and here on a Sunday morning. We all have that. My husband is great business. All given, great being, tiny things, small doings, marvelous moments. All beings, great beings, tiny things, all doings, marvelous moments. So we're going to make our way into the hall now. We're going to see our spot. As we mentioned before, we'll see take one. Compared to sit in the middle of the kids, or we actually have some dancing. So either way, we're going to be changing models. So, because there is so much suffering in the world right now, all over the world, we are going to have a special time for a little candle lighting. And so I'm going to ask Bella. Okay, so everyone else, let's just kneel and face the altar. And if you don't feel you can kneel, if that's not available, you can sit. And so we're gonna put our hands in each other, Bella is going to light the candle in the middle, and we're going to have a moment of silence to remember all the suffering happening in the world. Okay, so let's make a vow. So before we get up from kneeling, some of you know this. I just want you to repeat after me. A peaceful person makes a peaceful family.
A peaceful person makes a peaceful family.
A peaceful family makes a peaceful community.
A peaceful family makes a peaceful community.
A peaceful community makes a peaceful country.
A peaceful community makes a peaceful county.
A peaceful county makes a peaceful state.
A peaceful county makes a peaceful state.
Peaceful state, peaceful country.
A peaceful state makes a peaceful country.
Peaceful country makes a peaceful world.
A peaceful country makes a peaceful world.
Peaceful world makes a peaceful
universe.
A peaceful world makes a peaceful
Solar system. Solar system.
What's the next one? A peaceful student.
A peaceful solar system makes a peaceful galaxy.
What's the next? A
Full
peaceful
galaxy makes a peaceful universe.
Metaverse. Metaverse.
No.
Universe makes a
Peaceful
peaceful
metaverse.
And on and on. Peaceful universe. Oh, my skin. All right, so while we're here, we're gonna do our 3 prostrations. And I know a lot of you know how to do it, so I want you to help me to lead. We do 3 prostrations for anyone who's new, and that is to develop humility in ourselves, meaning to just be connected to the earth, right? Be connected to the earth in a way that's real and meaningful. So when our knees touch the ground and our foreheads touch the ground, feel the earth with your knee and really be grateful for it. Okay? So I need you kids to help me because you know how to do them too. And we'll show everyone else. And grown-ups, if you don't feel like you can do a full prostration on the ground, you can just make a bow. We all start with our hands in up tones of sincere heart. Right? And we'll face the Buddha. We bow. Face the Buddha, kneeling down, and then down to the ground. Up on our feet. On our knees. If everyone can take a seat, it's comfortable. We're going to do a little bit of meditation to start, about 5 minutes. And for grown-ups and children, you'll notice that our Bodhisattva named Kwanzaa Posal is holding our bunny today. And Kwanzaa Posal is the compassion that lives in every single one of us. Okay? Kwanzaa Posal hears the cries of the world. That's what this Bodhisattva is known for. Bodhisattvas themselves are to bring about that sort of spirit that lives inside of every one of us. And she is holding the bunny, and I want you, when you're meditating, to really see that that bunny represents all the cries of the world, the people who are suffering, and there's a lot of suffering that's happening now in the world. So let's really try to keep quiet for 5 minutes and really watch our breathing. And remember Kwanzaa inside of ourselves. Whoever can stay quiet gets s'mores. welcome everyone. Nice full crowd we have today. Before we start our story, we are going to be taking refuge in Buddha, Dharma, Sangha together. Okay, so I'm going to stand up, and I want all of you to stand up. And I'm going to play the mock talk, and I want you to repeat after me. So take bow. Let's all stand up and face all together. Let all face this. Testing. Testing. How's that? Is that okay? Is that all right? Buddha, the awakened one.
Buddha, the awakened one.
The awakened heart in us all.
The awakened heart in us all.
And the living force of peace.
And the living force of peace.
May I take refuge in the Buddha.
May I take refuge in the Buddha.
Dharma, the teachings of the Buddha.
Dharma, the teachings of the Buddha.
Moral discipline and wisdom.
Moral discipline and wisdom.
May I take refuge in the Dharma.
May I take refuge in the Dharma.
Sangha,
Sangha,
the happy and joyous community of all living beings.
the happy and joyous community of all living beings.
May I take refuge in the Sangha.
May I take refuge in the Sangha.
Hey, please take a seat, everyone. Hi, welcome everyone. My name is Hayun, and I am a Dharma teacher here at the Zen Buddhist Temple in Ann Arbor. And in case you were wondering if I just pull these stories out of my you-know-what, I actually do not. They are stories that are Buddhist stories. This is the Alasanaka Jataka, and I just kind of give them a little tweak to update them a bit. So our story today takes place in Ishpeming, Michigan. Who has been to Ishpeming?
What?
Do you know where Ishpeming is?
Yes.
No.
Where is Ishpeming?
The Upper Peninsula.
Yes. Where?
Up there. Right there.
The Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Ishpeming is near the Wabi-Sabi River, and the Wabi-Sabi River leads into Lake Superior. So, Ishpeming has a thriving little community, and outside of Ishpeming are people who work cutting down trees so that we can have paper. So when we have paper cups, paper to write on, there are people who cut down trees and thin out forests, hopefully not cut too much, and that's what they do. And so we have 3 people who are loggers, and their names are Susan, Ben, and Tom. They all wear lumberjack shirts. They all have big saws, and they work really hard in the forest just south of Ishpeming. Also living near these forests are two elephants. You didn't know that elephants would live in here, but they do. Our first elephant is an elephant named Ethel. Ethel loved living in the forest. Oh my God, so full of good nuts, so full of good fruit, everything. Ethel, one day, was out looking for nuts and fruit and stepped on a whopping splinter. Whopping. That was actually, they're cutting down a lot of trees. So Ethel's like, no! Oh, my foot hurt so much. Her like trunk was like boom, blowing through the forest because she was in so much pain. Ooh, it's hard when you have a splinter. I had them too on my foot. It's really hard. So Ethel was rolling around in pain. And our three lumberjacks ran up to Ethel and like, how can we help? How can we help? And Ethel's like, please take this foot-long splinter out of my foot. So the three lumberjacks knew what they were doing. So they've gotten a lot of splinters too. So they yanked it out. And Ethel immediately felt such relief. I did too when I had a splinter removed. And so then they actually treated it, they wrapped it, they cared for Ethel. She couldn't really walk too well, so they helped her, they gave her food, and she really, really grew to love these three lumberjacks. And so Ethel said, what can I do to help you? And they were like, bing! What can you do? You can lift these trees. You can take them over to the little barge where they need to go, and you can help us get lunch during the day. And Ethel's like, I would love to. It would give me a purpose in life too, to be able to do something to give back. And so they formed a team. So the lumberjacks every day come down, and Ethel's like taking them, like no problem in her trunk, taking them over. She gets them lunch, and they're like, Susan's like, what do we want today? Like, maybe tacos. I don't know. How about a burger? No. We had burgers yesterday. Pizza. All right, pizza. Ethel's like, she did that, for a while, and she's like, you guys are terrible. Can I just tell you a little bit about nuts? Peanuts are awesome, and other nuts are good too, and fruit. Let's just make it a little bit better, because I really care about you guys. I want you to live a long time. I don't want you to have a heart that just explodes from fast food. So they started eating better. Ethel, over the years, got a little old, and she's like, I don't know that I can do this anymore. But you know what Ethel had? She had a son named Elroy. Elroy was crazily twice as big as any elephant. Elroy was totally white. A white elephant. And so Ethel said to Elroy, oh my gosh, my boy Elroy, could you I would love it if you'd take over my space, because I really love these lumberjacks. I don't want to let them down. Elroy's like, sure, Mom. I've been waiting for an opportunity to do something like this. That would be awesome. So Elroy starts helping the lumberjacks. And of course, for Elroy, he's just flipping the logs in the air and no problem whatsoever. And he's so happy, and they're all eating so well. And so Ethel and Elroy actually were descended from a royal birth, meaning they were really special elephants. And so the royal elephants so they took their baths in the Wabi-Sabi River, and they just luxuriated and loved taking baths there, but they knew never to brush their teeth and never to poop near the water. That was a rule, and royal elephants knew that as a rule, and so they followed it. But one day, there was a gigantic rain, and the Wabi-Sabi River flooded. And oh my God, a turd from Elroy found its way into the river and floated upstream to Ishpeming. So meanwhile at Ishpeming, now I'm going to tell you something you probably didn't know, is that there is a state fleet of elephants in Ishpeming. Governor Gretchen Whitmer runs the whole fleet, and she's very proud of her elephants. So she's up there a lot, taking care of them, riding them. And so they were about to take their bath in the Wabi-Sabi River, and
they saw Elroy's turd and they just flew because they were so repulsed that there was a turd in the river. So they just flew out of the river. And the state officials who were their trainers were like, something's big wrong here because 500 elephants just flew out of the river. And so they ran fast. And so they found Elroy's turd. And they knew that was the problem. So the handlers had this brilliant idea. They actually dried the turd and they mixed it with cinnamon. And they sprinkled, I kid you not, this is actually in the story. They sprinkled it on the backs of the 500 elephants. And they were like, this smells pretty good. Not so good, but pretty good. And so the elephants were like, I really like that. So now that there was nothing in the water, the elephants, 500 of them, went in and took their bath in the Wabi-Sabi River at the shore of Lake Superior. So it was all good. They were luxuriating, spraying each other with their trunks. It was just a good scene. But their handlers were like, where the heck did that turd come from? And so they're like, I bet you upstream, there has to be another elephant. So they told Governor Gretchen Whitmer, and she's like all over it, like, yes, we need more elephants in our herd. It's like, a good way of transportation. It doesn't pollute the environment. So she rides an elephant, and with her handlers, they go upstream, and lo and behold, who do they see? Elroy. Beautiful, white, twice as big as any other elephant. And Governor Gretchen Whitmer is talking to the lumberjacks. Would you give me this elephant? And they're like, doing prostrations. Yes, Governor, we will give you whatever you want. And Elroy's like, what's happening? My head is spinning. He just paused and listened to his breath. And listened to the trees. And he said, stop. He said, Ethel and I owe our lives to these three people, these lumberjacks. I'm happy to go with you, Governor Gretchen Whitmer, but you have to pay these three wonderful people. So each one of these three lumberjacks got an environmental grant from the state for $500,000, and they each got a beautiful new flannel shirt. So they're really happy. Elroy's happy because they're happy. Ethel's happy. So Ethel and Elroy go with the 500 elephants, and they're living together, and Governor Gretchen Whitmer is just so happy, and she really then got a very close relationship with Elroy. They were inseparable. She took him all over auto shows, other Great Lakes, budget meetings with her cabinet. Elroy was there. But the problem that she was having is that there was a lot of pressure from lobbyists for the state to move to electric vehicles from elephants. And so she was feeling the pressure from lobbyists, and she's like, oh God, I just don't want to let go of the elephants, but I have to. I have these 502 elephants, which I love more than the world, and I love going to Ishpeming, what am I going to do? And so she was sitting in a coffee shop on 4th Street in Liberty on Ann Arbor Roost Roast. I think a lot of you know of it. She was sitting there with a friend and saying, what am I going to do? I don't know what to do. I love my elephants, but I'm getting a lot of pressure. And so who walks down the street, Liberty, that she sees? Haji Sunim is walking down the street, and Governor Whitmer, everybody knew this, was a resident here at the temple at one point. So she ran up to Haji and gave her a big hug and a big bow and said, a lot of people have been residents of the temple. Hey, Gretchen Whitmer. So she said, oh, Haji, I'm so happy to see you. And Haji's like, I'm so happy to see you, Governor Gretchen Whitmer. And they hug, and then she says, I have a big problem, Haji. I can't keep these elephants. Is there any way the temple can take these elephants? Haji's like, that's a tough one. I don't know if we have enough space in our buildings for these elephants. And then she thought, oh my gosh, right up the road is Burns Park. They could live there. So she phoned the city, hello, city administrator, I got a plan. And they were all into it because all the kids loved playing with the elephants. The elephants loved playing with the kids. So the temple was the caretaker for elephants. We had a big fundraiser and raised lots of money for peanuts. And so it was all good. They were living, playing with kids, having a good time. It seemed very peaceful. And Governor Gretchen Whitmer could come down, visit the elephants, but she then could have a fleet of electric vehicles and not. So it was all good until one day it happened. Oh, Ohio invaded Michigan.
Oh,
Yep, they did. Right up US 23. And it was Governor Mike DeWine and, all of these people. And Governor Gretchen Whitmer's like, oh my God, Michigan's been invaded. So Ohio army's moving north. They reached like Cabela's. They're coming. And Governor Gretchen Whitmer said, the only thing that can save us is our 500 elephants. And so she ran down to the temple and talked to Haji and said, Haji, Michigan needs our elephants. Will you loan them to us? And Haji's like, yes, we're there. Yes, anything you need. And she's like, and I need 500 of your best warriors. And Haji's like, yes, whatever you need. And then Haji's like, wait, we don't have any warriors. So what happens then is they're like thinking, and Haji's like, but we do have one, not a warrior, but he rides an elephant a lot, and that is Samantabhadra, the Bodhisattva of great action. We have him. Did you know that Samantabhadra is often on an elephant? He is. So he's very comfortable on elephants. So he's there, but how do you fill the other 501 elephants? And in the distance, what did they hear? They heard the Michigan marching band warming up for the next day. And Governor Gretchen Whitmer's like, oh my gosh, they look imposing with their uniforms and their hats. Let's put them on these elephants. And so the Michigan marching band's all there. They're all on elephants. And you see the tubas, the trombones, the French horns. They're like all there. And they're going down to Cabela's and gonna face these Ohioans with Samantabhadra on Elroy leading the way. And they get down there, and there's the Ohioans. and Elroy's like, I don't really care about Cabela's, but the rest of the state, I don't want you near. So the elephants, their trunks are like, boo, 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 boo. And Samantabhadra is like, no, you will not invade this state. And the Michigan marching band and the Ohioans are like, nee, this is ours, we want it, we want this state, and so we're going to take it. And just then, something happened to change the entire game. Now, they didn't have any bows and arrows, but they had a song. Anya, are you here? Okay, so the song is, we're just going to sing. Now, some of you might know it. Bill John, I want you to cover your ears. And so if you know it, you can sing along with me. Can you just start us off, Ani? Hail to the victors, hail to the victory heroes, hail, Michigan, the champions of the West. Oh my God, the Ohio people, there was like blood coming from their ears. They're like, I can't. You're trained from birth to not like that song. And so they're, I can't handle this. Governor Mike DeWine, what do we do? Governor Mike DeWine is like, like he's like saliva coming. He's like, we have to retreat. So they all ran back to Ohio. They slunk over the line to Toledo. Michigan was safe. The border, Elroy was there, the border was clear. Heavy sigh. God just picked that song to do it. So then, Governor Gretchen Whitmer invites everyone to land safely. All the elephants came, Samantabhadra, Haju, the whole temple went. Just great celebration because Michigan had been saved by the elephants. And after that, it was a huge party. You all were there. We were all there. And so then Elroy and Ethel went back to their beloved Ishpeming for a little much-needed R&R. And they were sitting in their elephant-sized Adirondack chairs on the shores of Lake Michigan. And Elroy remembered the 3 foundation stones, which are so important for all of us. In the midst of everything, he kept thinking about them. He said, can you repeat after me? In this very moment, there's nothing to worry about.
In this very moment, there's nothing to worry about.
In this very moment, I have everything I need.
In this very moment, I have everything I need.
In this very moment, there's always something to be grateful for.
In this very moment, there's always something to be grateful for.
And he thought of everyone in his life. And you know, when we're feeling the great suffering of all those in the world and ourselves, it's so good to go to what we're grateful for. It helps snap us out of it. So Elroy thought about the lumberjacks, how grateful he was to them. He looked beside him and he was like, whoa, Mom, I'm so grateful to you for giving me to such adventures. And then he thought of Governor Gretchen Whitmer, who taught him, she showed him all the Great Lakes. She taught him about potholes and budgets. She even told him why the big 3 automakers are so important to Michigan's economy. So he learned all that from her. And he was so grateful to Justina in the temple for giving him such loving kindness. And then he just kind of welled up. And he just felt so incredibly content and peaceful, and despite everything that was going wrong in the world, he felt at home. So that's our story. That's a version of it. So,
Was the salmon next to your phone really kind of that?
yeah.
And why did the elephant take a bath and put on their back?
All right. Okay. So we're going to end our service today. Ruth Scotty. So we remembered when Elroy paused, breathed, and listened, and how much wisdom he gained when he did that. So Ruth's mom actually composed a song for us that was used at Peace Camp, and I asked her if she would sing it for us today. All right.
I just assumed that we would do this in the same way that we did Peace Camp, which is not. And so the way we did it at Peace Camp was we made a spontaneous duet. And so if everybody can start out by finding a partner. We can be partners. So, and if you can't find a partner, then raise your hand. Yes, we can also have partners.
That's 3.
All right, so everybody stand up,
Oh.
please. And then all of you. We'll just talk everyone. And I don't absolutely dance moves, but I find dance moves. So I'll sing the song once, and then I'll show you the dance moves, and then you can, for the chorus, you sing the song to your partner, and they sing it to you, and so you can enjoy having a little duet with your partner. Okay, so the song goes like this. Pause like a turtle basking in the sun. Breathe like the Bodhi tree shading everyone. Listen as the Buddha does with hands and Hap Chong. Listen as the Buddha does with hands and Hap Chong. And so now I'll sing it again, and I'll do it with the moves that I just sort of made up. Okay, so first we have a log, and then we have a twist. So it goes like this. Pause like a turtle basking in the sun. Breathe like the Bodhi tree shading everyone. Listen as the Buddha does with hands and Hap Chong. Listen as the Buddha does with hands and Hap Chong. And then the chorus goes, pause, breathe, and listen. Pause, breathe, and listen.
Pause, breathe, and listen. Pause, breathe, and listen.
All right, so now it seems like everyone learned it already. Good job. So we'll just sing the song, chorus, song, chorus. And whenever you sing the chorus, sing it to your duet partner. And then that's it. Okay, ready? Set, go.
Pause like a turtle basking in the sun. Breathe like the Bodhi tree shading everyone. Listen as the Buddha does his hands in Hapchang. Listen as the Buddha does his hands in Hapchang. Pause, breathe, and listen. Pause, breathe, and listen. Pause, breathe, and listen. Pause, breathe, and listen. Elephant tree basking in the sun. Breathe like the Bodhi tree shading everyone. Listen like the Buddha does with hands in Hapchang. Listen like the Buddha does with hands in Hapchang. Pause, breathe, and listen. Pause, breathe, and listen. Pause, breathe, and listen. Pause, breathe, and listen.
So, if we can exit quietly with Mahom chanting as we came in, you can take your cushion and put it in the little bin on your way out. That would be great. We're going to have some outdoor time, setting up the fire, running around, and then so we're going to be taking teens. I don't know how many teens we have, but teens, preteens, whoever would like to have a discussion on 5 wisdom energies. And all parents, if you'd like to, you can follow me. Well, son's not here today, so I'll be taking over. Okay. Obviously, Soba is going to take Priscilla downstairs for a new renovated place.
Great minds mind with the heart. And so our passion is I don't know, I'll speak a little bit. Just that Amalu means mind and heart, and our practice is always opening our mind, always opening our heart, and always opening our hand. So it originally came to always opening Buddha's mind, always opening Buddha's heart, always opening Buddha's hand. And so that Buddha is always inside of us. We say that Buddha's in everyone's life. But it's a case of discovering it. And when we do that, it's very, very great experience of interbeing, which is really important right now on the planet. So before we sit down in meditation and then practice to be in that Buddha space, where we can open our mind and heart and hands and every moment, I'm going to just, while you're standing, tell you a little story that I heard from someone who was a member of the temple many years ago, and I see her every week because we write together. And she has twin boys. And she told me that recently, they're 10 right now, that they're just all over each other. They always need to know where the other one is. When they're together, they're touching. They really harmonize with each other all the time. Some of you may have a twin that you know what that's like. So apparently, she said, this isn't just the first time I've noticed that. She said, when they were 4, and this is with permission to tell the story, Oliver was playing soccer, and Evan was in my arms on the sideline. Oliver got hit by a soccer ball, and his nose began to bleed. And the coach very carefully brought Oliver over to sit with his mom and brother. And the brother, Evan, said, "Mom, is my nose bleeding?" Listen, this is called really being in another's shoes, being in another, with another person. So I was really touched by that story. I do not have a twin, but sometimes I just ache when I see things and hear about things that are going on these days. And I don't know exactly what to do, but I sure do feel that ache. So one of the things is, when you're meditating, there's this how all these senses, things come to us. And instead of engaging with them and lengthening them, we just let them go. So over and over, it could be a wonderful thing, just let it go. It could be a terrible thing, let it go. It could be quite enticing. consciously let it go. And what's happening is we're letting go into a portal to our Buddha nature, where it's a wonderful thing to begin to experience that place and respond in our life from that place. Because these days it's so easy to get onto a side, you know? And it's normal in some sense, but it's not so good if it ends in a lot of war and problems. This temple is a 501c religious organization. And what that means is that we don't have to pay property tax. And we don't have to pay sales tax. Because we are considered serving our whole community. And one of the things is that everyone is welcome here. The temple does not take sides. Like, we only allow Democrats here. We only allow Republicans here. We don't allow this and we don't allow that. Everyone is welcome. And so the temple can't take a side and start talking about what everyone should do. It's up to each member. And we respect what each member's investigation of life comes up with and how they then respond. And what we're here to do is to get into your deepest place, your Buddha nature. And it's not always by meditation, it could be by chanting. It could be doing prostrations. It could be out in nature, having a really interconnected walk out there with trees and rocks, the sun. So what we as a temple want to support is your investigation. Not to take things just because you heard somebody famous or somebody so wise saying something, but because you yourself, through your own inner investigation, and sometimes it's going to be outer investigation, you've done that work and we want to support you in that work. Does that make sense? No? Yes? Yeah. It makes sense to me because then I don't get myself on some sides that you all should think like this. We're for peace and ceasefire as much as possible. Following the first precept, not to harm, but to cherish all life. Okay, so would you now get to your meditation mat and cushion or chair, and we're going to do some meditation practice, and then we're going to go outside and join the children who are currently running around, and then they're going to be in their age groups, and then they're going to have hot chocolate and s'mores over the fire. And they're going to be there. Okay, let's work with your meditation practice. First of all, in order to settle your mind, it's really important to work with your body. If your body's twitching and unrelaxed, and you need to work with that, and also with your posture. So sit so that you're just feeling as comfortable in your chair, wherever you are, as possible. And I'm going to guide you just through the details of a stable posture, which we almost are never in. And we have to keep reminding ourselves to get back to it. I think sometimes our overuse of computers gets us in this kind of posture. So, okay, outer eye, you're looking at me. Inner eye, you're inside yourself. Use the inner eye right now. And take your attention to your hip bones. Inner eye. Okay, be right there with them. And with making very little motion, gently, energetically move your hip bones forward. Very gently. Lift your sternum, the middle of your chest, energetically up. Notice when you do that, it affects your spine. Inner eye to your shoulders, releasing your shoulders to gravity. It'll be very subtle, hardly moving, but you'll be able to tell. Shoulder blades, bring them imperceptibly together. Tongue, very, very gently on the inside of your top teeth. Move very imperceptibly your chin a little in and the back of your head toward the opposite wall. Noticing how even these little movements affect you. Finally, visualize your spinal column. Just visualize it. And just the column, don't move the rest of your body, just move your spine, stretching it up. And there you are. And you might have to do it again, and again, and again. Now to your meditation practice. There are many different practices. I do not know many of your practices. So you work with your practice, and when the normal comes up, you hear a sound, perhaps some kind of light comes, perhaps thinking, body sensations, your senses somehow respond to. Allow that and release, going back to your practice. And then maybe something else. Allow and release. And something else. Always something else. Release. Over and over again and back to your body refinement. If for some reason you need to move your whole body, do it slowly and mindfully so you feel it as a practice rather than a reaction, and everyone else is not disturbed. In this process, always opening Buddha's mind, experiencing that, always opening Buddha's heart, always opening Buddha's hands. Over and over again, letting go. We're going to do 20 minutes. Let's see again. Arms out, head back, eyes open. And just raise your shoulders up to your eyes. 5 or 6 seconds. And stretch it. In the spirit, in the physical. And also, I was reading something recently that said, if you were copying, it's just a poem his Ion is having everyone countries to do all this research about how communication fails almost research. No matter how we're trying to. It was interesting to me because it really made me think, how should I just begin to talk? Nobody really gets it. I mean, even if your intent to talk, apparently, according to this research, we'll talk about it another time. But anyway, so I've been re-examining just who I am as a Buddhist teacher. What is it that's supposed to be? So that's why I will teach you meditation. So I'm thinking about that. And I'm thinking about now we're going out to do the families and children. They would like everyone to join them. You're certainly welcome to look around the garden. It's also an opportunity as a sangha for us to get to know each other a little better, nose to nose. You know, that singing of the songs. Good. So if you're welcome, of course, to go wherever you need to go. But if you join us in the backyard, you're not going to have great practice. It's going to be Sunday. Remember, Thich Nhat Hanh, I think most people have heard of him. He once said, when asked, well, who's going to be the next Buddha? Is it going to be what country? I'm thinking of a person. And he said, it's going to be a song. And so we are really important to each other. We need to get to know each other. And I can never remember names unless I have something to associate it with. So I would say today, this is just a brief thing. My name is Tanju. I've been around for a few decades, and I'm losing my hair. So I want to remember losing my hair. So, you know, you can do your version of whatever that is, and even if it should only speak to a couple of people over the next 10, 15 minutes. Please do. Let's see where we can work together. That's all this is. Okay, so who has announcements today?
Can everyone hear me? Good to see you here. In case you don't know my name, I'm Samoon. Good to see a lot of new people here. Thanks. And it's nice for our family service too. We get to get outside, get together a little bit. So we got a few things coming up here in the fall schedule. There's a stack of them up this door, although most of you probably go down in the basement. You'll have some extra time because we have that coat rack downstairs, and it could take a few minutes for us to all find out. So, and on the way up too, there's like a fish bowl there for donations if you care to. Much appreciated if you do. We always try to encourage people to get together for like things like Saturday afternoon Dharma practice, 3 to 5. We've got a weekly meeting of Dharma recovery next door. Mike, did you want to say something?
Sunday, today at noon, next door to Wood Hall, right next door to the Yellow House. The library up the stairs, just go straight to run right into it.
Thank you. Yeah. Go ahead.
Speaking of the library, it used to be our old meditation hall when we only had that building. Now it's just the most beautiful library on the planet. So I hope that we'll begin to get to know the library. I think it'll probably be formally opened in.
So can we wander in there if we're curious?
Not from 12 to 1 today.
Okay, good point. Okay. Well, we're getting there. We used to have services over there on Saturdays sometimes. We do have yoga now. It's starting, it's on Tuesday evenings, 6:30 to 8 or so. We've got like a retreat coming up here after Thanksgiving, Saturday, or is it Friday? Saturday. I think there might have been like something in the newsletter that said that we were going to have it on Friday. So it's actually Saturday.
9 to 5.
Yeah. Oh, 9 to 5, not 9 to 3. I think I saw that too. Yeah.
But see what I said about communication.
Well, we heard the raindrops, and that's what we really wanted to hear. Let me think. Yoga classes, we have meditation classes. There's an overnight session, December 8th to 9th, so that's a Friday to a Saturday. And then no other classes really until next year. I guess that's about everything that I had, unless anyone else had anything on the comment on. Well, with that, yeah.
I wanted to appreciate your appreciation for the story about the elephants. I also did want to point out that nuts and fruits can forests do exist, but peanuts are legumes.
Well, they're not exactly nuts, so they grow underground. They're like tubers or legumes.
They're beans.
Yeah, they're beans. Okay.
But also elephants really do love kids, which is cool.
Hear that? Have you seen them?
I have not, but my grandpa, he has a good dear friend in Sri Lanka. So I have a lot of connection to Sri Lanka, and they actually have a lot of elephants out there. Like they've got a huge community of elephants, and one of the last things my grandpa ever told me before his passing was about elephants. And about how they lived in the town, and they just love kids. They're so gentle with children.
They're like village like elephants. For everyone?
There's kind of like they have a lot of them that just wander around. Some are pets, and then there's actually an elephant orphanage even. So they take care of those, and those actually get to wander throughout the village. And in the morning, they go get water.
That'd be nice. Sri Lanka, how far is that? Well, we'll try. I guess that's about it. I hope to see you guys outside.
Let's finish with the 4 Greek vows. All beings, one body.
All beings, one body.
I vow to liberate.
I vow to liberate.
Blind passions, one root.
Blind passions, one root.
I vow to terminate.
I vow to terminate.
Dharma gates, one mind.
Dharma gates, one mind.
I vow to penetrate.
I vow to penetrate.
The great way of Buddha.
The great way of Buddha.
I vow to realize.
I vow to realize.
Let's stand for our 3 formal vows. I'm gonna go this way because people, most people go that way. What about the mats?
If we could leave the masks that are touching the carpet and the rest get put away.
You said,
So in the story,
no,
Mark